YouTube, what's going on? My name is Jay. Welcome back to another video. It's been a while again, and I apologise. And I'm back on Master Duel, and I'll tell you why. This game is so on and off for me. It really is. I'll have moments where I can play it for like 2 minutes and then have to turn it off. And then there's been moments like the last couple of days I've just been playing it non-stop, right? And there is really no real reason as to what. I've just been going through a fun time playing this game. Do you know what I mean? Probably the first season in a very long time I've actually put a bit of effort into it. And by the way, I'm not one to I've said this, but I don't play meta and everything. I'm playing the totally best deck ever, and I'm going to show you guys what this deck is and just go through here so you can see. I mean, I'm in gold 2. Don't read anything into it. Like I said, I don't play this game enough to be any higher, right? So I'm in gold 2. There is a win streak of 9, right? So we'll have a look at this. I'm going to play some of the replays from this as well, and just go from there. But this is what it's been like. So there's 4 losses in 20 matches. Don't get me wrong, some of those losses have been like really tight matches, and there are stuff that's like one turn, twos, one. That's because I think people, even in lower ranks like gold and silver and stuff like that, if you see people try and combo and everything, you just go, can't be arsed. And this deck has a number of different ways to get to an end board. So I'll play a couple of the wins, and I will play 2 of the losses as well. I think these 2, being both 6-turn ones, they were sort of back and forth a little bit. So I'll play both of them and play a couple of the other ones as well, and then do a couple of live ones as well, because I said this deck is not perfect. I jokingly call it the best deck ever, and I'm going to show you why and what this deck is. This deck, I've talked about it a number of times, is my Goblin Biker rank 3. You may look at this and go, there's a lot going on here, right? You have Dark Magician, you do have Red Eyes, and you do have Red Eyes Fusion, because there is Dragoon and there is Verte. Yes, if all things go wrong, I can end on a Verte. I can go into Dragoon, right? You then have, for some weird reason, you've got the Materia Reactors. You've got one Prima. Now, I'll be honest, I'm still learning the Materia Reactor stuff, and I don't run enough of it to make it completely fluid. I use it purely for the rank 3 engine. But the reason I added it into it is because I pulled a Royal Rare Materia Reactor Gigadra. That is the only reason they are in this deck. They are quick and easy to special summon themselves. Like I say, Gigadra, you've got Zeptwing, just special summons itself. Exoraptor, just reveal it in the hand, discard a card and then summon it. And then Gigadra, again, discard a card, special summon it. And it's always about getting Materia Reactor into your hand or onto the field. And obviously, if you have him as the Pendulum side of things, Xyz monster you control gain 100 attack for each Xyz material on the field. So you can quite easily get a bunch of materials on cards in this deck, so it's quite easy to use that effect. So you've got 2 different reasons for using Materia Reactor. You're either going into rank 3 plays or using it for its pendulum effect. You have your standard interruption, so Droll, 1 Maxi, 1 Ghost Ogre, and 2 Ash Blossom. I had run Ghost Bell in this. I don't think it really came up too much, so I sort of swapped it out. I've kept it at 40 cards as well. I'm very much one of those. I could easily make this like 41, 42 and throw a couple of other cards in, but I kind of like the standardness of 40. Then you go the sort of level 3 stuff. So you've got Terratop, easy special summon. Terratop then adds Takatamborg. If you then want to use the Takatamborg effect, then you have Tri-Eye Die. Now, I fucked up on this because I forgot that Takatamborg has this effect of you can only special summon for the rest of the turn except wind monsters. I didn't read that at first and was locked into summoning Charge Warrior and then ended my turn, because the idea was to have a level 6 on the field alongside something like I've Gone Wild or anything to then go into either Beast, or if the opponent has a bunch of cards on the field, you go for Gone Bonkers. So yes, I don't tend to use that too much. Like, it'll probably be an end ward if I try and do anything, because obviously try or die's effect, obviously to negate an attack, is actually really powerful, as I found out. Other level 3s in terms of Psychic Wielder and Tracker, just easy special summons from the hand when you control a level 3. Then you come into the actual Goblin monster or Goblin Biker stuff. 2 Dug Chargers, 2 Clatter Exploders, 2 Boom Marks, and 1 Mean Merciless. And then 2 Gomod. This card, right, is just so good. It is so fucking good. I could not believe. I mean, when you read it, like I say, you can just normal summon it as long as you control a Goblin monster or have no monsters. And then when it's normal special summon, you just special summon a level 4 or lower Goblin monster from your deck. So the idea with something like a Gone Wild is, depending on your perfect hand, say you had something like a Dug Charger in hand to go with, summon Dug Charger, take the new card Grand Breakout, tribute it, go into Gone Wild, summon Clatter Exploder summons from the graveyard, you summon Dug Charger, 2 level 3s and a level 6, then you can go into Bigger Bonga, then you can make your plays. But this card is just so unreal. And then it has a following effect. If the card is sent to the graveyard in any way, so if it's removed as part of an Xyz material or just removed in general, target 1 card on the field, attach it to a Goblin Xyz monster. And that is monsters, spells, traps, field spells, or whatever. You literally just take it, right? And if you don't know Goblin Bikers, the way to play this set is you just steal your opponent's shit, right? I'll go through the extra deck in a second as well, but you also do have the 2 Engraver to go alongside the Fabled Lurie as well. I had been playing 1 Engraver for so long and it just didn't work. It worked for a while and I was just like, I need to run 2, crafted it. So then you got Red Eyes Fusion for the Dragoon. Talon, I'll be honest with you, is probably one of the cards I'm going to dismantle, because, I mean, I can't even dismantle this one because I think it's part of it, but I'm going to get rid of it because I can probably count on one hand the amount of times I've had Talon in a duel, because it's like 1 out of last... I don't think I've drawn it in the last 20 duels I've had, and it's a 1 of, so I'll probably get rid of that. Grand Entrance is a really good card, but one thing I didn't realise, that's Diabellstar and that's Poplar. I didn't realise this is part of this lore. I don't know how I never noticed it, but yeah, Diabellstar and Snake Eyes Poplar have Goblin Biker lore. Just a weird one. But Goblin Biker Grand Entrance just adds a Goblin monster from your deck to your hand. Then you can, if you want to, detach an Xyz material from a monster on either field. And if you do, special summon a lower level 4 or lower Goblin monster from your hand. So, and like I said, from a monster on either field. So if you're playing against a deck that is Xyz heavy as well, it's very easy to just steal their shit as well. And then when it's in the graveyard, you can banish this card, detach 1 Xyz material from a monster on either field. Then you can add 1 Goblin monster from your graveyard to your hand. That is obviously very, very powerful as well. And the whole thing is its interruption for Big Gabonga. You then have Tracked, obviously, for the Fiendsmith plays. I run 2 Grand Bash, mainly because I kind of prefer... I don't think you need to run 2, but I like running 2 of them. Goblin monster you control gain 3 and attack for each Goblin monster you control, so you can get these monsters up to some very, very high attacks. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Goblin monster in addition to your normal summon, so that's very powerful. You can target 2 Goblin monsters you control, then activate one of these effects. Make the level of one of the current monsters become the current level of the other, or both of the levels of combined. So you can either make 2 level 3s level 6, or you can take a level 3 and a level 6, make 1 3 or 1 6 to then go into extending plays. I do have Meteoractor Meltdown for the Meteoractor stuff. As I'm saying, I'm going to start trying to figure out this deck a little bit more to help it splash better. 1 Teleport just to summon either Tracker or Wielder from the deck. 1 Call Bite, really helpful. 1 Crossout, I'll be honest, I'm probably going to get rid of Crossout and throw in another Call Bite, I think, because I don't think I've really ever used Designator. Grand Breakout, like I said, this card is... I probably need to run more than one of this card, but like I said, 40, perfect. But Tribute 1 monster, special summon 1 Goblin monster from your deck, but it cannot attack this turn. When a monster declares an attack, you can banish this card from your graveyard and detach any number of materials from Goblin Xyz monsters you control. All monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack for each material detached until the end of this turn. So you detach 3 materials from your monsters, they lose 3,000 attack. Done. This card is stupidly fucking broken. Like, it's tributing any monster. any monster at all. So it doesn't have to be a goblin monster. It can be Meteoractor. It can be Fiendsmith. It can be Tracker. It can be any of these cards, and you immediately summon into a goblin monster. So the idea then is you do summon Gone Wild, which then, if you do have monsters in your graveyard, you summon Clatterspot. If you have a monster in your hand, you go for Mean Merciless. Simple as that, because it's an extending play. And then standard 1 Imperm. In terms of the extra deck, you do have, like I say, Dragoon. You do have Lacrima and Desiree, which I say, Fiendsmith Engine, still working together on that. Stardust is just simply to go for the Speedroid stuff. I was debating whether to go for an actual Speedroid one, but it's Kendama, what doesn't really sort of work as much as I'd want it to. 2 Bigabonga. This card is so good, and the annoying thing about this card is the text. So if this card is 60 summon, you can add a goblin monster from your deck to your hand. So ideally, normally what you would do is you would add Dug Charger, because then Dug Charger can special summon itself by detaching a material from Bigabonga. If a material is detached from a monster on the field, except during the damage step, you can target one face-up monster on the field, except this card, attach it to this card as material. You're stealing your opponent's shit. That's all you're doing with this card. You're just stealing your opponent's cards. During the end phase, you can attach a goblin monster from your deck to this card as material. You can only use each effect of goblin monster once per turn. And that's a hard once per turn. I so wish this second effect, or this second one, was a soft once per turn, because then I can actually play 2 Bigabonga on the field. But it's a hard once per turn. It fucking sucks. Annoying, but oh well. 1 Exegard as well. I didn't realise this card has an animation. It's really fucking cool. This card has an animation. I love it. Again, it's just 2 level 3 monsters, so you can just splash it with all the other cards. You have to run the Wave Hiking Caesar to go with your Engravers. But like I said, Engraver and Gone Wild are both Fiends. So all King Caesar needs is 2 level 6 Fiends. So perfect synergy. Crazy Beast just needs 2 or more level 6 monsters. This card is also really, really powerful. Once per turn on a quick effect, you can target a spell or trap on the field, attach 2 materials from a monster on the field, and if you do, attach that target to this card as material. So, like I say, detach a material from a monster on the field. Again, you can detect your opponent's monsters. So if they've got a powerful spell or trap card that you just want to get rid of, you do that. If a monster you control will be destroyed by card effect, you can detach 1 material from this card instead. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, then you can attach 1 goblin monster from your graveyard to this card as material. So you can use this to extend into, say, something like a Verte, for example, and then bring it straight back. I run 2 Goblin Beasts, Crazy Beast, just because it is a really powerful card, but the only use the effect of the special summoning one once per duel. So it's really restrictive on that one. Gone Bonkers was the newest one as well. So again, 2 or more level 6 monsters. You can target face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of goblin monsters you control. Detach 1 material from a monster you control. And if you do, attach those monsters to this card as material. So theoretically, if you had 5 goblin monsters on the field, which is very easy to do, and your opponent had the same, you could detach a material from this card and just take all those 5 monsters. It's as simple as that. And during your opponent's turn, on a quick effect, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Goblin Xyz monsters you control, detach 3 materials from a monster you control, and if you do, send those target cards to the graveyard. It doesn't destroy them, it just sends them. Really well written. This card is really good. This is just a kind of like a closing out sort of play. Don't really tend to bring up too much, but it is a really good way to end it. Naturally, you have to go for the Zeus as well. And obviously, if you are going for either Gone Bonkers and Crazy, mainly Gone Bonkers, if you are attaching a shit ton of cards, ending on a Zeus with like 8 materials is naturally broken. And the best thing about Zeus is I very rarely end on it. I very rarely need to unless I feel I'm in a position where I need to do it. So if cards that your opponent has that sends a card from your extra to the graveyard, they will always choose Zeus and nothing else. Then you have your Fiends and stuff. So you've got 1 Requiem. I do run the Anaconda, and I've started to run Sequence as well, then to go on a Desiree or even Lacrima. The ideal end board for me with this is 1 Bigabonga, 1 Crazy Beast, 1 Dragoon, and either 1 of Desiree or Lacrima. And if God perceives it, a Hiking Caesar as well. I've managed to end one board with a Bigabonga, Crazy Beast, Caesar, and Dragoon. And that was, and obviously Verte in the extra monster zone. So that was the best end board I had, obviously with a card in hand. Then you have your, let's say, your negates. This deck is just fun. Is it really good? No, it's not. It's gimmicky, but it's fun gimmicky. And this is where like people that play Yu-Gi-Oh, they don't like playing the game because so much meta shit. This deck can deal with meta stuff, but it can also lose to meta stuff, and that's absolutely fine, because the whole point of this deck is just to have fun and piss your opponent off. And I know that's a bad thing, because this deck isn't a floodgate-y deck, it's just that your monster is now part of mine. and your opponents don't like that. I get it. I'd be the same. But that's why I use this deck, because it is fun. This is the most fun deck I have ever used on this game, right? I have a bunch of decks on here. This is the most fun I've ever had. But let's go to it, because I've already realised I'm 15 minutes into it. So one of the losses, let's go, I don't want to go for a 2. I'll go for, I'll tell you what, I think this one was one I remember. I don't even think I can. Damn it. Oh, because these weren't from the same day, were they? I didn't think of... Right, okay. So, what ones can I do? Don't really want to do... I don't want to do... The problem is, I now can't do those replays because they're too old. Damn it. Okay, well, that sucks. Okay, I'll go for the most recent win. That's annoying because I do want to show the losses because, like I said, this deck isn't perfect. I have drawn some unbelievably shitty hands and then had to try and make it work. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, there are so many different ways you can end on a board. Like I said, you can just end on a Dragoon. You can end on little things. This was one I've never played. So immediately you can probably tell. Don't get me wrong, I have the Malice stuff and everything. I think that and the Cyber Infinity, it's just to throw people off, right? Other than that, that's it. I saw this and I was like, okay, this could be Max Metalmorph. And to be fair, it was. So I have never played against Max Metalmorph ever since it came out. I have never come up against an opponent that has used this deck, okay? So I was intrigued. I was really intrigued to see how it worked, and I spent a lot of time reading the cards as well. But in hand, I've got... Okay, Full Metal Dragon, go for that. I have Takatumborg, Clattersploder, 1 Zetwing, 1 Engraver, and 1 Breakout. So, quite literally, 4 archetypes in one hand. But, not a bad way to end. He's got a 3800 attack Black Full Metal Dragon that can negate and inflict damage to your opponent equal to 1 attack when you activate a card or effect. And Max Metalmorph makes it so that the monster cannot be destroyed by spell or monster effects. You cannot target it with spells, cards, monsters, effects at all. So already pretty powerful just on them two alone. And obviously, if I remember correctly, he did add Red Eyes Black. He sent Red Eyes Black Dragoon Insight, and then he set Return of the Red Eyes as well. So this is how I play. So 1 draw, not exactly perfect, but I always start with the Engraver and stuff like that, because if I can't get off the Engraver, it doesn't matter, because it's not a vital part of this engine. But I know a lot of people will see the Engraver stuff and go, oh my god, what is he going to now combo off? So he immediately goes Return of the Red Eyes and summons back the Red Eyes Black Dragon that he had sent to his graveyard in the last turn. I naturally then add Tract, and then go standard Fiendsmith plays as well. At the entire time of doing this, I'm fully expecting him to trigger Black Full Metal Dragon. And not for some reason, he just doesn't. Now, whether or not I've seen, I watch a lot of YouTubers as well, so I kind of remember when to do it. That's when he did it, right off the Requiem, thinking... He's probably now thinking, okay, well, that's his negate gone. I can then just shuffle that back and go back into Engraver. Annoyingly, I wanted to go back into Requiem, but naturally wouldn't work. And that is the effect of Grand Breakout right there. Summoning Takatemborg to go into Gone Wild. A set imperm, I'm thinking, shit. I really am thinking, what do I do right now? Okay, simple duel. We go into Crazy Beast. I could have gone Caesar, but Caesar didn't make any sense. But Crazy Beast does, because then you can just take that. Gone Wild then just takes that. And then attack. Annoyingly, I'd obviously used the summon for Takatamborg. Then I went into Zeus. I know I said I don't tend to go into Zeus, but at this point I didn't know what he could... I didn't know what this card in his hand was going to be. I didn't know what he was going to draw. I just wanted to be safe. Okay? That's it. Don't hate me for summoning Zeus like that. I did it just to protect myself. He couldn't end up doing anything, so I thought, okay, I now need to be a dick. And I'm sorry, I do this a lot. I do this a lot to be a dick, right? You're going to see what I do. So you summon the Engraver, as you do. Summon Zeus to attack mode. Clattersploder goes into Gone Wild. Gone Wild then summons Doug Charger from deck. Doug Charger adds Grand Bash. Grand Bash gets activated. and then he quits. The idea would have been to go Dug Charger and Clattersploder into a rank 3, to go into Big Kabonga, add another one, probably ended on maybe ending on a Caesar, and then obviously I had the Red Eyes Fusion as well, so I would have ended up on a Dragoon. It was BM, I know, I would have won either way. I don't want to do the 1 turn, because most of that's just people seeing me combo and then they just quit. Let's go for the 9 turn one, because I can't, please tell me I can play it. Yes, I can. This one, if I remember correctly, was just a really back and forth. Like, you don't see too many games like these go to turn 9. And it's probably the longest I've gone to in a while. But opponent, again, I see the Blue Eyes, probably going to be running some form of Blue Eyes. It's a 44, which is weird. But here's your plays. Gone Wild into Dug Charger. Dug Charger adds Grand Bash. Grand Bash. Grand Entrance adds Boom Mark, which is a free special summon off an Xyz monster, but I use it as a normal summon. Takatumble special summons it. So this is where I fucked up. This is the Stardust Charge Warrior one. Then I realised I can't do anything. So I made them both level 6, sit in Permkin. This is where I don't read. And this is the whole idea of Yugi people don't read. Yes, I didn't read at all when it came to this. So, yes, we'll now see. The idea would have been is that I was going into Crazy Beast and probably just ending on that, just for a quick one, but yeah, annoying. Sky Striker. Now, naturally, you might see it. I love Sky Strikers. I've never played it, but I just love the archetype as a whole, and I love all this new animation stuff that they brought out ever since they did the reprints. I think it's really fucking cool. Change of heart and stole my monster, and then look, Sky Strikers with Tenpai. Now, I don't know how viable that is. Apparently, I've never seen this before, but I knew immediately I had to imperm the Pydra. If I didn't imperm the Pydra, I was fucking screwed, right? I'm not doing that. Luckily then, the Try I Die comes into great effect, and I do that. Then he freaking link summons. He uses my monster to go into SP, and annoyingly, I should probably run an SP. I won't lie to you, because it is actually a really powerful card. I've never run SP in my life. This is where we go Crazy Beast, and this was just a lot of back and forth, because he just kept SPing whenever I tried to summon another monster. This shit was so infuriating. I had 2 bricks in hand in Dark Magician and Red Eyes. This duel was annoying, so I just had to go for double Grand Bash, and then just ended, and then it comes back, annoyingly losing the materials. And then look, Santa Claus is me. Santa Claus in 2025. I'm not having it. Not having it at all. But he couldn't be. And then look, another freaking. Look at this hand. Look at this hand. Red Eyes Fusion, the 2 bricks, and an Ash Blossom. What are we? This is the problem with chucking so much shit into a deck and hoping it sticks, right? But we summon Crazy Beast back with its effect, adding Gone Wild. Trying to boom muck again, and SP sets off again. I was getting frustrated. I was getting very pissed off at this stage. I was like, you're starting to piss me off. Like, every single time I'm trying to do something, you're winding me up. Another Pydra, another negate from Ashming. I think this guy was getting as frustrated as I was, because every Pydra he summoned I negated, and it completely screwed him up. He then goes into Heater, and I was thinking, why was he going into Heater of all things? And I realised I had an Ash Blossom. Completely forgot about that. Then went into Nightmare Unicorn. Again, this deck was just kind of all over the place. He had a second Santa Claus. A second Santa Claus in 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Second Santa Claus. And you'll see, not the last of his interruptions either. Why he decided to negate the Santa Claus with Widow Anchor, I don't know, but here we go. So now I'm thinking I can start doing stuff now. So we go Red Eyes, and we summon Dragoon. And obviously, if you now know the effect of Red Eyes Fusion, is you can't normal or special summon other monsters this turn, so you are stuck with just Dragoon. Alright, so I was thinking, alright, okay, well, I'm going to destroy the Unicorn, take your damage, and then I'm just going to beat over you. Now, did I want to turn Santa Claus into attack mode? No, I did not. I did not want to do that. Then he's got 2 cards in hand. What can he do? Oh, he's going to fucking game kill me. Like, at this point, I was just... And then he snatch stealed it. I thought, what type of person are you to do that? I was pissed, right? He gamma sealed my fucking dragoon and then snatch stealed his own monster. I was annoyed. I was very fucking annoyed. And then from this point, what can I do here? You'll find out. So, Grand Breakout on the Santa Claus. Bugger that off. Add the Clattersploder. Clattersploder summons the Gone Wild from the graveyard. Gone Wild. Then summons from the deck the Doug Charger. There's nothing more to add because I don't run the spell. There's no other spells to run other than Grand Bash, Grand Entrance, and Grand Breakout, and I don't run any of the trap cards because I tried running trap cards. They just feel very bricky to me. Haven't really enjoyed it. So then we go into the Big Gabonga. Big Gabonga add Mean Merciless, Boom Mark, and then he quit. At this point, I was going to style on him. I didn't care what end board I had. I was going to style on him because that guy really wound me up. That was a proper back and forth duel, but it wound me the fuck up. That was 9 turns of my life, and I was flipping off the screen by the end of it. I will run just one quick one now because I've realised I've already 26 minutes into this. And it's just been deck profile and watching 2 replays. So apologies if you're just wanting to watch proper gameplay rather than just replays and a deck profile / breakdown. Let's just go for one final duel. Now, this deck can go first or second. I will go first on this occasion, but the amount of people that make me go second and I have perfect going second cards, it is just what it is. Do you know what I mean? So that's one thing I do like about this deck. You can run it first, you can run it second. Does not really matter at all. Sleeveless Andy, that's a 60 card and 11. Okay, so what are we doing here? Let's go. So what I'm thinking is Mean Merciless first. Into Doug Charger. Don't negate. I don't think if there is anything to do that. So then Doug Charger, we are going to add... I'm trying to think of what's the best way to do it. So I can go... There's a part of me that's thinking, because I can make 2 level 3s there. If I then go Grand Breakout on, say, like the Wheeler, I can go Gone Wild. This is the problem that I'm just overthinking. So I'm just going to play it safe and go Grand Bash instead. We are then going to special summon the Wheeler, go into Big Gabonga with Mean Merciless and Wheeler up. Screw it, we'll just do it on them 2. It doesn't really matter what you do it on. Big Gabonga then is going to add Gone Wild. I think that's probably the best one to add. Then we're going to activate Grand Bash to then normal summon Gone Wild for its normal methods. Thank you, double special normal summon. Then we are going to summon... I have nothing engraved, so it doesn't really make a difference. But I'm going to go Boom Mark for a potential interruption. Go this to go Gone Wild and Boom Mark. Change the level of Boom Mark to 6. Then go into Crazy Beast. What I could do... is actually do this. Go into Verte. Don't activate Gone Wild. Activate Crazy Beast to special summon itself. And attach Gone Wild for the interruption. Then go for Verte, pay the 2,000, send Red Eyes Fusion to go into Dragoon, send the Dark Magician, send the Red Eyes, summon it. We're then going to set the Imperm and end. Now we'll activate Big Gabonga's effect to attach material from deck, and we'll go Class Blow. Doesn't really matter what it is that you attach to it. So let's see. I imagine there's a grass. There has to be a grass is greener in your opening hand, because that's just the way Yu-Gi-Oh works. And if there isn't, I don't know what to do. So yeah. Annoyingly, what are we doing here? We're cycling through very, very slowly. And it's Blue Eyes. Okay. I will Dragoon it. Pitch the Droll. That could have been a waste. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll see. Don't really need him summoning 3 Blue Eyes monsters. He summons an effect monster that, like, adds anything. Then I have the Imperm. Can actually just go... And there's the Sage. That is being Impermed. They always have Sage. Like, I'm telling you, right, these Blue Eyes players always have a Sage in fucking hand. I don't care. He's running a 60 card deck and they always have Sage in hand. It fucking winds me up. Doesn't matter what he's going to do now, because he's going to go... The fuck? Okay. What I'm... Which Blue Eyes is he going to summon? What's he summoning? Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to Boom Mark. I think that's the safest thing to do. It's Abyss Dragon. So we're going to Boom Mark on Big Gabonga. We're going to send Clattersploder. Summon it in attack mode. And then Big Gabonga is going to steal his Abyss Dragon. End. Anything else? Set 1 card. Set 2 cards. I'm going to Crazy Beast. And we'll go for the first one. And we're going to remove the Gone Wild, and we're going to remove the Mean Merciless. Take that. Gone Wild will then affect, and I steal his other card and attach it to Crazy Beast. And we're done. Now I'll just fully attack. I have no interest in styling on this guy. Like, it's a Blue Eyes player. I really should. But you know what? Like, I think this guy has suffered enough. Do you know what I mean? So I'm fully just going to attack. If he has something in his hand that can stop it, then it is what it is. But no, he doesn't. We will Crazy Beast, attack, and then we'll finish on Big Gabonga. GG's 60 card Blue Eyes player. You have now been defeated. So that's what I mean. Like, that's not a bad end board to have. Like I say, like, having the Boom Mark engraved for the interruption is really, really powerful. Yeah, this is why I love this deck. It's just stupidly fun, and I will just double check something as well. What this 60 card... Jesus Christ. That... Okay. There's Photon Dragon in there. There's... Okay. This is a very mismatchy... It's not even modern blue. What is this? Okay, do you know what? This is gold. This is just gold. This is not even Blue Eyes, because there's no spirit. There's a spirit with the eyes of blue. Where's Spirit Dragon? Where is the fucking level 12 that I hate? You deserve to lose. I'm sorry, you deserve to lose. Right, and I'm going to leave it there. I will end up doing more Yu-Gi-Oh content in the next couple of days as well. But yeah, that was just the deck profile, deck breakdown, a couple of replays, and a live duel of the totally best deck ever, Goblin Biker. If you have any suggestions on ways I could make the deck a little bit more sort of interactive with other level 3s, like I said, there are some stuff that I want to try. I tried doing it think if it was like a super heavy samurai type thing, couldn't work it at all. And if you've got the ways to make the Meteor Reactor engine work, then please let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, like and subscribe as well if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh content and other content coming soon. And anyways, I will leave it there. Thank you very much, and peace.